What's going on, Pathways Church? I'm Jake Collins, your middle school pastor, and I'm excited to join you for this week's Daily Dose. This week, we're talking about fasting. Fasting is a practice that involves depriving oneself of food or other physical sustenance for the sake of spiritual growth. There are many different ways to approach fasting. How you navigate it might vary based on your personal health, your family, or where you are in your spiritual journey. Even within Scripture, we see different kinds of fasts. This week, we're going to look at 5 examples of fasting in the Bible and find some general principles that all of us can apply to our lives. The first fast described in Scripture happens in Exodus 34. Moses is on Mount Sinai receiving the second set of tablets with the 10 Commandments written on them. Remember that he broke the first set in response to the golden calf. We read in verse 28, Moses was there with the Lord for 40 days and 40 nights without eating bread or drinking water, and he wrote on the tablets the words of the covenant, the 10 Commandments. Now, your first response hearing this text might be to wonder how in the world Moses survived so long with no food and no water. Jesus will later do a similar fast in the wilderness as he begins his ministry. These fasts go beyond what a human being can do in normal circumstances. Even the most extreme fasts usually include water and even juice. But let's focus on another aspect of Moses' fast. We see in this story that fasting is connected to God's truth. Moses is not receiving physical nourishment for this stretch of time, but he is receiving spiritual guidance from God for him, his people, and the generations to come. For us as modern Christians, we find God's truth in the pages of Scripture. Many people who are debating whether or not to fast ask what they are supposed to do during the time that they would normally spend eating. A great place to start is with Scripture. Let's say, for example, that you're going to try a 48-hour fast. That gives you 6 windows of time that you would normally spend eating meals. Maybe you could spend these periods to walk through the 6 chapters of Ephesians or divide the Sermon on the Mount into 6 sections. There are also tons of devotionals, podcasts, sermon videos, and other resources out there that can help to nourish you spiritually as you fast. Now, if you're interested in joining our all-church fast, you can head to our app and click on the fasting section to learn more. That's all for today. Join me back here tomorrow for another Daily Dose.